Hello, and get ready for the interview with Gail Petersen, Asset Management Visionaries Shaping Tomorrow. Stay tuned. Hello, world, and welcome to another episode of Asset Management Visionaries Shaping Tomorrow. Today, I have a super guest under the umbrella of the Association of Asset Management Professionals. WIRAM, Women in Reliability and Asset Management, has the honor of interview Gail Petersen. Let me tell you, Gail Petersen, I've been 11 years, soon to be, in this world of the community of asset management. She has always been there for me. She's a professional friend as well, and today we're gonna dive deeper to get to know her. Gail, welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing really well. I love this conference.
We are so glad to have you here. Tell the audience, who is Gail?
Well, my background academically is that as a mathematician. I had a brilliant teacher all through high school, Dr. Bailey, and he discovered my talent. And it was because of him I did a degree in honors math at university. And from there, I dove deep into the business world and took my problem-solving skills and my critical thinking into the business world.
That is so important. You know, one of the things that I say, people, you need to invest in yourself and especially dive into digitalization, problem solving, critical thinking. That's why you and I get along so well. We're always aligned. And tell us, where are you located? In what part of the world? Tell the audience why you like to be where you are right now.
I live in Vancouver, BC, which is just north of Seattle, Washington. And collectively, we live in what was a rainforest. It's a very beautiful part of the world. We're bordered on the sea and we have the mountains. And my younger son calls Vancouver God's backyard.
Wow. Let me tell you, I've heard that a long time, but you click it for me. I need to make a trip. I need to visit you. Yes, so beautiful. I've seen sometimes, you know, when we have our conference calls, I see your place, looks so cozy. I'm so glad. And now in this world of reliability and asset management, tell us, how did you dive into this and how are you enjoying it?
I was privileged to have a consulting gig with a pulp and paper mill. And it was the star in Crown Zalabak's crown, this particular mill. People from Norway came to visit. And I was a technical advisor to a collaborative team of cross-functional managers. And they were hired, they were grouped together as a team to seek out a computerized maintenance management system. And you know what?
What happened?
I fell in love with the maintainers. These are men and women of action. And I had to be careful what I asked for because it would happen immediately.
So you asked and they were ready
Boom.
For you.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And so from there, I just dove deeper. That was a maintenance gig. And from there, I dove deeper and deeper and deeper into reliability and deeper into asset management.
Because I know that's one of your passions. And this is an amazing show because you need to explain the audience in simplicity, what is asset management?
Asset management is the governance layer to reliability and maintenance. Reliability and maintenance does not include asset management, but asset management includes maintenance and reliability.
And how long have you been working in that field?
Decades.
And keep going, right?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Your passion now is also digitalization. I know when I'm thinking of you, I think immediately asset management, but then you said, Maura, I'm going to write a book. So tell us about what inspired you. When have you been saying, I'm going to write something? How did you activate? Because I'm quite sure the audience wants to hear, how do I activate a project? So tell us a little bit of the tips.
Every author needs a publisher. And Terry and I were in a Zoom meeting early on and waiting for people to join. And I went on a rant, if you can imagine. And Terry said, why don't you write a book? And I said, okay. Little did I know how much work it would be. And so I created the title to the book, Embrace Industry 4.0, Architect Your Way Out of the Jungle. And the next thing I did was I created the table of contents. And when I created the table of contents, I realized I didn't know everything that I needed to know about my topic. So I invited 3 contributing authors and I assigned each of them a chapter that I knew that they were specialized in. And so I wrote the majority of the book, and we would have author meetups every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks to keep the momentum going. And exchange exchange ideas and so on. And I started to write, and throwing that out to them so that there was nothing happening. I started to write in January and there was nothing happening until September. And they popped in their 3 chapters and wow, we were all convinced the topic, Industry 4.0, was a necessary thing, a necessary philosophy, and for leaders of asset-intensive organizations to embrace. Not only to embrace it, but to move to action. So we were intending, our intention is to inspire, not only inspire, but to move to action. And we all wrote with our own voice, but we all wrote with a common conviction. And we had a brilliant editor from Reliability Web, and she was amazing.
That is, and now it's a reality.
Now it's a reality.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to add the link so you can take a look and a sneak peek of that book. I am reading it myself. I haven't finished it yet, I have to tell you, but I told you, I'm on it. I'm really enjoying it. And like you're saying, it's about the synergy. I always bring this word in these episodes because that is also the asset management piece, bringing people together. What a great thing. And I know your co-authors are in different parts of the world too, so you coordinate all of these.
Yes.
Wow, that's something that I do admire about you. So many things I admire about you, but one specifically is you are a connector. You're connecting people from different areas. How did you get to be like that? Is this something that you were born with it?
I actually don't know, but I know that collaboration is really, really, really important. And you mentioned synergy. We need to bounce off each other and bring in new ideas. And that's what we do. I'll prompt you, you prompt me. It's like, oh, we can do this.
And we all prompt together.
Yes.
That's the idea.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's so great, Gail. Now, not only you wrote a book, not only you're busy with your daily activities, personal life, professional life, but you're also a volunteer for the Reliability Leadership Foundation in the Consortium. You want to tell the audience what is the work that you're doing in the digitalization for reliability and asset management?
I'm a very proud member of the Digitalization Consortium. And I was invited to join that consortium by Terry O'Hanlon. And Brendan Russ is our fearless leader, along with Joe Barber at the moment. And they work incredibly hard to make sure that our contribution, our development, our writing is reviewed properly and we go on to the next step. So we've created what's known as the Purple Passport. The Purple Passport is a body of knowledge that is independent but related to the uptime elements. So there's a synergistic relationship between the Purple IoT domain of knowledge and the 5 domains of knowledge of the uptime elements. So again, we have a very talented group of people as a member of our consortium. And we're learning from each other. We're bouncing off of each other, and we're growing together. And it's been an incredible journey.
Yes, and we are also in search of volunteers. So any call to action about that?
Yes, we had a 3-hour workshop yesterday, and Brendan and I asked people, we said, we need fresh blood. And I've talked to people today that said, yeah, this is really important. This is where our company is going. We need to be on that committee. So, it's working.
Yeah, that's the idea. Get to work, because we always say, and you learn together. That's the idea. If you're hesitating, I don't know much, then come and learn. That's the intention.
Yes.
But thank you again for your contribution, really, not only with the book, but also the time. And let's focus about time. How do you do it? How do you balance all the activities?
Balance. Well, I have a beautiful garden, and my garden brings me much peace and joy. I have a cardigan Welsh Corgi, 3 years old. He's still a teenager, and he brings me much comfort, also joy. And that's basic. And then I have two grown sons, and I'm a grandmother. And that's been very exciting also. My sons are brilliant and very handsome.
That is a proud mother.
Yes.
That's great. But I share now the garden. I'm also doing some work, so I might have to knock on your door for some tips.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And it's amazing how when you're doing the garden, in my opinion, I don't know for you, but I'm working the garden, I'm relating to things about life.
Yes.
Like, with the weeds or the flowers and the seeds and the nurturing of the relationships. It's just like life, right?
Yes, stewards of the land.
There you go. I cannot wait to see your garden.
It's beautiful.
That is so beautiful, Gail. Thank you for sharing that. Tell us a little bit, the two favorite topics for you, digitalization and asset management. How do you see these happening 5 years from now? What is your perspective?
5 years from now is a very long time. So what I know is that the digitalization perspective is only going to grow. In complexity, in speed. We know that 2 things remain constant. Actually, 3 things. One is the uptime elements. One is the management system per ISO 55000. And the third is change itself. Change is escalating at an exponential rate. Technology. So what technologies are going to fit into my ecosystem? Not all of them. Not all of them. So I have to be very familiar with what that looks like. We have to integrate data. We have to integrate people across departments. We can't make it work without that. And we have to have complete asset data. If we don't have complete asset data, we may be in trouble. Huge trouble, catastrophic trouble.
Yep. Yeah, typical, the buzzwords, digital twins, digitalization, IoT. How many assets do you have? Oh, let me think about it.
Yeah.
Which ones are your most critical assets? I don't know much. So I agree with you. We need to get the house in place.
Yes.
First, the foundation, right?
Yes.
That is an interesting piece. I do need to ask your take on sustainability and asset management.
Sustainability is a must do. We need to, not only do we need to improve, we need to sustain that improvement, get to a certain level, and go up another level. We said it this yesterday and today. We need the big picture, and we need to take small steps moving through that picture. And we might need to change our strategic objectives. We might need to change our vision. And we have to adopt, our business leaders have to adopt change as a way of life and be open to innovation.
It's the adopt and adapt, right?
Yes.
It's exactly. Now, women in reliability and asset management.
Yes.
I know we can talk for hours about it, but can you tell the audience about your involvement with the group, which since very beginning you have been very supportive, strong advocate. Tell a little bit about the community. What does it mean for you being part of Women in Reliability and Asset Management?
As Maura's just referred I'm a charter member of WIRAM, women in asset management and reliability. And what that organization has done and what you have done as the person who's formed WIRAM and moved it forward is you've created a platform for women to interact and to gain confidence, for young women to come in and say, what do I do? Where do I go? And we the older members of WIRAM, we can help them. And it's really all about that. It's about reaching out, giving a hand, and moving forward. But Maura, you were the one. You're the one. Without you, WIRAM would not exist. And thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Gail. And I always say, when people come to say that, I say two things. Number one is teamwork. And number two is the piece of you can be part of the problem or the solution.
Leadership. That's you.
It's about action, Gail. Thank you. And
Yes.
I really appreciate your supporting the group, you supporting so many times that you presenting, and a call to action for the woman and the men listening. Get involved, learn about the group. The webinars that we do, not only in technical, but very important topics, entrepreneurship, leadership. Everybody has a story to share.
Yes.
That's the most important thing.
Yes.
Should I say you are going to inspire someone and you don't even know it, right? So that's the thing. And the part is lifting up one another. So I really appreciate your comments. I really take them. Thank you. Really, thank you for your contribution also to the community.
You're most welcome. It's a pleasure.
Any words that you want to give to the community in general regarding asset management and activation? Because a lot of people might be a little bit confused. No, asset management is later. Digitalization can wait. Any call to action to the audience to prompt them into what's happening next?
That was the motivation actually to write the book. And Terry O'Hanlon was the one who lifted the carpet up and said, you know what? Nothing has changed in maintenance for the last 40 years. What? Could asset-intensive organizations be stuck? We thought so. And so we really wrote that book with passion. And our aim was to inspire the people who read it. Now, they might not be the CEOs or in the C-suite, but they can learn, they can go and talk. They can influence their CEO and their C-suite. Vocabulary is so important. Words are so important. Words have power. And I, as an engineer, let's say, talking to you, the CEO, you're going to dismiss me if I talk technicalities. I have to learn to talk your language, which is the language of the bottom line and return on investment. I've got 90 seconds to 2 minutes to do so. Otherwise, you're on to the next.
Elevator pitch.
Yes. Yes. Absolute.
That's a great key point, the communication piece. And sometimes we talk with abbreviations and people don't even know what they're talking. Convincing. In order to convince someone, you need to believe the message. So the messenger is really important with that communication piece.
And you need to keep up. I'm the engineer. I need to keep you informed and aware, because all the threats that are coming at the organization, you might not be aware of, but we might be aware of. And with that acute awareness, we can actually come to you and say, look at this, check this out.
Exactly. Thank you, Gail. I always learn so much from you, and our audience, I'm quite sure we're gonna put some links so you can learn more about Gail. Thank you again for your time, and it's always a pleasure to see you. We appreciate each of you in our community. Remember to follow us on social media, Association of Asset Management Professionals. Learn more about Women in Reliability and Asset Management, WIRAM, worldwide, not only in the United States or Canada, everywhere in the world now. And then continue listening to these great shows to get connected with the people, the asset management visionaries shaping tomorrow. We'll see you soon.